Hello, welcome to the making of Someone to Love Again. I have just released this song. I thought I would show you how I made it and like the journey of it, because it's basically been around for ages. And so it's 2020 now, so it's been around since, it's been around since summer of 2016, which is 4 years, which is pretty ridiculous really. You'd think that you'd just write it and it would just come out, but it just did not happen like that. Alright, so we'll go back to summer 2016. So basically at this point I had just been living with my family, so I was living with my family and the house burned down, which was crazy. So it was kind of a weird time for me. My house just burned down and I didn't have a manager at the time or anything, and it wasn't a great time. So I called up my producer friend. I said, hey, you'll never guess what happened. My house has just burned down. Can I stay with you tonight? He said, yeah, no problem. So I went to his house. I think the only thing I had was a guitar. I think that's the only thing that had survived from the house, I think. I'm trying to remember if I brought the guitar to him. No, he had a guitar. So I went to his house with nothing. I had sandals on and like summer clothes, and it was kind of cold. And it was just awful. So I stayed with him. Next day, he woke up and he was like, dude, we've got to write a song. Like, you know, this is the moment we can make something magical right now. So we tried to write a song all about like a fire and how emotional that is, but it came to this awful idea about fires, so which we just parked that idea and never returned. Then we started talking about kind of old girlfriends, and I had just broken up with my girlfriend a few months before that, and we were just talking about how, you know, you start off, it's a bit like grief, like when you break up with someone, it's like someone's died. So at first you get really angry, and then maybe you get upset, but then eventually you kind of accept what's happened, and you kind of wish them well, wish them the best. And that's kind of where I felt at that time, and he felt that as well. So we came up with this idea, and it was called Someone to Love Again. And I had a voice note for that, but it's gone. But I do have the demo from that first day of Someone to Love Again, which I'm going to play right now, a little bit of this. There we go. Familiar guitar chords.
I'm trying to work it all out.
Whoa.
Where to place the blame.
So different lyrics.
'Cause you said that it's beyond doubt, and it won't be the same.
A little bit obscure.
Drinking all the time, trying to wash you off my mind, and I wish I could have made you stay.
So the pre-chorus was totally different at this point.
I don't wanna know if you're sleeping on your own, but all that I wanna say is I hope you find someone to love again.
So you get the idea. So then it goes into the chorus, and then the arrangement's pretty much the same. But yeah, the lyrics were completely different. Pre-choruses were different melody, different lyrics, but we liked the verse, melody, and the chorus. And that was kind of like, okay, this is definitely a song that we really like. I'm trying to think what happened next. So then over the next few months, it just took me ages to write the lyrics. So I was just writing a line a day, like in between shifts and stuff like that, and it was just ages, and I'd be on the phone to him saying, hey, what do you think about this? And yeah, we just kept going, and eventually I was like, okay, this is definitely the lyrics that I want to go with. So I finished that, and then it was about November time, we were like, okay, now we have to produce it. So at that point, it was like late 2016, I still had no idea what I wanted to do, like production wise. I had a few songs, but I didn't really know how I wanted them to sound, like what the drums would be like, whether I wanted lots of guitar, the style. It was roughly kind of soul, but not really sure. We basically said, okay, let's kind of, what was it called? We heard this song by, I'll play the song, and you probably know this song, but we heard the song by Justin Bieber. We were like, hey, that that production is so like so basic and like simple, but the song really comes through. So you know that song is Love Yourself. It was Ed Sheeran wrote it as well. It's like, yeah, really famous song. We just thought, let's just do something like that. Like that will definitely work. We can just do really simple guitar part and nice loud vocal, and that'll do the job. So I have that.
Not a single part of my body or soul wanted to let you go.
So I sound really different back then.
Even though it's been hard, but I'm trying to cope. All that I want you to know is I hope
it just sounds like an acoustic version.
Find someone to love again, I know.
I mean, you get the idea. It basically just is that the whole way through. And I kind of liked it ish, but I thought the vocal was a bit like sounded, I don't know, unconfident, and probably because I was unconfident about what I was doing at the time, so it kind of just spilled out into the track. And yeah, basically just didn't really like it. Like the vocal sound, like there was something about it. I couldn't put my finger on it, but I knew that it wasn't great. And then I don't know, that the production just sounded just like nothing was going on. It didn't sound exciting, and I just felt this song is better than that. So I didn't do anything with that, and just kind of left it and thought, okay, well, this is a song that I'll come back to, but I just don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. So then I ended up getting a manager. Well, I got found by a manager on YouTube. He was like, oh, you gotta, you know, I want to come see you live. I want to come see you one of your gigs. So I invited him to this gig I did at the Social in Soho, and he came out of the gig and we talked after, and he was like, what was the last song that you played? And I was like, oh, that's Someone to Love Again. He said, that's your best song. You know, have you got a produced version of it? And I was like, not really. He said, let's get this right. So we began to try and get it right. So I was working with this other guy. By the way, I'm not using names because I don't really want to, like, I don't know, throw anyone under the bus, because I really have no problem with anyone or who was involved in making the song. And I don't know, it just feels weird to say people's names because, yes, so I'm just not going to do that. But working with this other guy, this other producer, and I thought he was really good, so we went for the song and we put a bunch of different stuff on it. So we put bass, drums, bit of piano, more kind of vocals, and it was better. I'll play it to you now and I'll kind of skip forward a little bit, but there was still kind of something missing in it, so I'll show you. That's just the beginning. Okay, I'm going to skip through. Listening to it now, it kind of sounds similar to the version I put out in a way. But I would basically say that, yeah, it's kind of similar. Like, it has the same kind of drum groove and similar kind of Motown-y vibe, but I think, yeah, the vocal wasn't as good. And it didn't really have as much style, I don't think. Like, the drums were a bit more boring, like, they weren't really as kind of, yeah, stylish. Bassline wasn't as stylish, so it was beginning to kind of sound more like the Motown influenced stuff that I do now, which I'm really excited about and feels like it was what I should have been doing all along, but that's just how life goes. But it wasn't, it was like 60% of the way there, whereas I needed to be 100% of the way there. So we did that production and everyone was like, yeah, it's good, but like it's not as good as the song. And I agreed with that, so we just left that, which is really annoying, and then just left this song for So that was, let me read this email. So that was April 16th, 2018. So yeah, so then we left the song for a year and a half. Just didn't do anything with it. I'm trying to think what happened in 2017. Because 2016 was when it was written. 2018 was that. So 2017, I think I just left it as well. So it's had huge periods of just being left alone, even though I was always like, this is my favourite song. I think it is my favourite song that I've done. So we left it, didn't do anything with that version. And then, so this is late 2019, where I just released What a Time to Be Alive, and I'd started working with this new producer, who I was like, okay, he, not only does he totally get what I'm trying to do with this kind of Motown, modern kind of Motown thing, but I also feel really confident about it, and I know like how to arrange songs now, and I know more what I want from my production, so feeling much more confident than I was the years before. And so I said to him, hey, I've got this song, you know, I kind of have an idea of what I want to do with it, but you know, it's had a lot of failures so far, like, are you sure you want to do it with me? And he was just like, yeah, we'll definitely get it. And we got it, and unless you've already heard it, this is a bit of Someone to Love Again as you hear it today. Here we go. Yeah, that's the journey of a song, and having it, literally, I've not played those versions for so long, and it does make you think, God, like, where did all the time go? I don't know. When I got this done, it's just like, it wasn't even a feeling of happiness getting it done, it was a feeling of just relief, because it had been so long to do this song. There we go, the making of Someone to Love Again. If you found it interesting, or had any comments about any of the versions that you heard, or maybe thought that I should have released one of the old versions, then let me know in a comment, or just message me or something. And remember to subscribe, because that definitely helps. But yeah, have a good day.